Welcome to episode 4 Game Time, guys. So, picture this. We're in a fancy penthouse, and Nia is rudely awakened by her screeching alarm clock. She's all groggy, trying to hit snooze. But then she sees her phone blowing up with missed calls from the soup kitchen. Grandma and Grandpa must have given out her number. Nia jumps out of bed, hair looking like a tornado hit it, and answers the phone in a panic. Mrs. DeReese's on the other end is freaking out, telling Nia to get down there ASAP. Apparently, there's a crazy situation, with journalists and archaeologists digging up the floor. Total chaos! Nia throws on the first thing she finds, a silk robe and fluffy slippers, and zooms out in her red sports car. When she gets to the soup kitchen, she almost runs over some pigeons and is blinded by camera flashes. She looks like a fashion disaster with her mismatched slippers and dusty robe. Reporters start bombarding her with questions, claiming her family is involved in some big find. Nia, looking furious and confused, pushes through the crowd and finds Mrs. DeReese's, who's about to pass out. She mumbles something about a time capsule and heirlooms, and Nia's eyes widen. A time capsule? Heirlooms? This was more than just a crazy morning. It was a bombshell, dropped right in Nia's lap. In-T Soup Kitchen, day. The archaeologists frantically dig up the floor, revealing a surprisingly ornate chest. The reporters swarm around, their cameras flashing like 1,000 fireflies. Nia, to herself, this can't be happening. Just then, another scream pierces the air. Archaeologist, a letter. There's a letter with your late mother's picture on it. Nia freezes. Her mother, her rock, her confidant, her inspiration. The world tilts on its axis. This wasn't just an archaeological find. It was personal. Nia, whispering. Mother. A reassuring hand lands on her shoulder. Zane, her childhood friend, stands beside her, his eyes calm. Zane, I'll take care of this. He turns to the reporters, his voice laced with authority. Zane, did you read that sign over there? It says private property. If I see any of you still standing here when I count to 3, you'll face trespassing charges. And trust me, you don't want to deal with the lawyers we have on retainer. The reporters, taken aback by Zane's sudden transformation from charming socialite to ruthless enforcer, scramble to back away. Zane, to Mrs. DeReese's. Don't worry, Mrs. Dorses. I'll manage the kitchen. You get some fresh air. Zane takes charge, directing the volunteers with surprising efficiency. He even starts washing dishes, much to everyone's astonishment. Meanwhile, looking grim, the archaeologists present a small velvet-lined box to a figure shrouded in a dark cloak. The cloaked figure accepts it silently and vanishes into the crowd, seemingly melting into thin air. Nia watches the cloaked figure disappear, a shiver running down her spine. This was getting increasingly bizarre. In-T Day Spa, later. The air in the spa is thick with the scent of eucalyptus and lavender. Old couples and rivals lie on massage tables, their faces serene. Harry, gruffly. Dido, how in the blazes did you manage to get that time capsule onto my property? Dido, smirking. A woman has her ways, Harry. Besides, all's fair in love and war, right, Arthur? Arthur, grumbling. Checkmate. The old rivals share a moment of uneasy truce. In-T Soup Kitchen, later. Nia, having helped the last of the guests, turns to Zane. Nia, thank you, Zane. You saved the day back there. Zane, that was the least I could do. Besides, someone had to keep the spotlight off you for a change. Nia, raising an eyebrow. You know, Zane, for someone who claims to be my friend, you have a knack for appearing exactly when things get interesting. Zane, interesting things have a way of finding us, Nia. A beat of silence hangs between them. Zane, casually. I have a project that could use your management. Skills, a startup with enormous potential. Would it be possible for me to swing by your office tomorrow to give you the details? Nia considers him, her mind racing. Zane's sudden business proposal feels oddly timed. Nia, sweetly. A project, huh? Well, Zane, I can't resist a good challenge. But let's not forget that favors come at a price. Zane's grin fades. Zane, yeah, sure. We can always work something out on the price, right? Nia, leaning in. I'd rather go straight for what I want instead of waiting around for it to come to me. Zane gulps nervously. He had underestimated Nia. This rich girl, this mystery, was more than just a pretty face. She was a hunter in her own way, and he was starting to see how risky their little game really was. Fade out. Stay tuned for episode 5 next week, Tuesday, January 28th. Don't forget to subscribe. James 1:5, New International Version. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you.